Welcome to Barely Legal in Web3. I'm Jamilia Grier, founder and CEO of ByteBow, and your guide through the uncharted territories of blockchain and digital innovation. Each Thursday, we're dissecting the most pressing legal and ethical challenges in the Web3 space. Whether you're shaping policy, advising clients, or leading innovation, this is your essential resource for navigating the future of law and technology. Subscribe now wherever you get your podcasts. Welcome back, guys. Today we're diving into a game-changing topic, the hidden Web3 opportunity 90% of lawyers are missing. Now, you might be wondering, another tech trend, how is this different? Well, buckle up, because what I'm about to share could revolutionize your legal career. So let me start by sharing a personal story. So back in 2021, I was part of the 90%. I was a successful global head of data privacy and operations at Standard Chartered Bank. And I was leading a team of over 50 compliance and risk professionals from around the world. It sounds impressive, right? But here's the kicker. For me, I felt like I was missing out on the biggest legal opportunity of our generation, and moreover, the biggest technology opportunity of our generation. So picture this, I'm working out of my home in Singapore because of COVID, right? The restrictions and the lockdowns, and I'm in calls all day, back to back, hardly even a chance to grab a sandwich or anything. Lots of meetings, all high stakes, presenting crucial data, privacy protocols, managing a data leak team. I've got the title, I'm working remotely, so it's quite cushy, and I feel as though I have the prestige, but as I look at the faces of the people who are on the computer screen in front of me, their eyes are glazed over. I mean, they are disinterested in what I have to say. They don't care about data. They don't really care about technology or what's going on. And that's when it hit me. I was stuck in the old world of technology and in the old world of how businesses operate. And there was a totally new world, a totally new digital frontier emerging right under my nose. And this hidden opportunity, it was the intersection of law and Web3 technologies. And in my mind, that was blockchain, smart contracts, decentralized finance. It's a world where lawyers aren't just interpreting the law, but they're shaping the future of global transactions and digital governance. Now, you might be thinking, but I'm not a tech person. Well, I was kind of a tech person. I mean, I've worked in tech and data for a while, but I was not as immersed in the world of technology as I am today. And that's exactly why this opportunity is hidden from 90% of lawyers. We're trained to think in terms of precedents and existing frameworks, but we are not trained to think about innovation and creativity and how our analysis and our approaches can improve that. So Web3 is creating a new legal paradigm altogether. So what exactly are the 90% missing? Well, from a career standpoint, firstly, there's unprecedented demand. Companies are desperately seeking lawyers who understand technology, blockchain, and Web3. So we're talking about a skills gap that's leaving high-paying positions unfilled. And it's really a shame because these companies need the expertise that many professionals have, but they're unable to find lawyers that understand their business, which is the technology side. Secondly, right now, there is an early mover advantage. So what does that mean? That means that by learning now and by reskilling now, you're positioning yourself as a thought leader in a rapidly growing field. Thirdly, I think there's a huge diversity in career paths. So I was speaking to someone the other day, and we were talking about the Barely Blockchain program, which I will tell you guys about in this episode. But her background is AML and KYC for financial services. And she's not a lawyer by training. But the funny thing is that Web3 opens doors beyond uh, traditional legal practice or the profession of law as it is. It even opens doors for people who have a pure traditional compliance background. So think about tech startups, cryptocurrency exchanges, or even people that launch their own blockchain-based company. Those people need not just lawyers, but compliance professionals as well to be able to help them build the frameworks and the governance to make their business do what it's supposed to do the right way. Fourth, I think it's such an intellectual challenge that's going on in the space today. It's not just about learning new laws. It's about helping shape the legal framework for emerging technologies. And we see it every day when we look at our phones or we power up our laptop and we see headlines about countries rolling out new regulations pertaining to either artificial intelligence or virtual assets or cryptocurrency. I mean, this is developing very rapidly. So there's so much space for professional expertise and people who have either years and years of experience in one particular discipline, like legal or compliance or risk management or governance, to apply all of those years of experience to this new space. And even if you are listening and you're saying, well, Jamilia, I just graduated from law school and I don't have 10 or 15 years of experience, it's still a ripe space for you to be able to come in and bring your creativity to say, I may not be an expert in sanction screening, but I do understand the technology side and I do understand how things should work if I were to make them. And so it's just really an open area to challenge intellectually the status quo and make an impact. And speaking of impact, my favorite is the thought of a global impact. So Web3 is borderless. And those of you that know me, you know my story, how I've lived in various countries and I love to travel. But you could be working on projects that literally change how the world conducts business and resolves disputes globally. So it really changes the playing field when we think about what the opportunities are. But here's the real kicker. The reason 90% are missing out on this is that they don't know where to start. And that's where Barely Blockchain comes in. So our program isn't just a course. Okay, there are plenty of courses out there where you can learn about the fundamentals of Web3 and blockchain, right? You can, I myself, I've taken some when I first started out, and they were great. I mean, very technical, maybe a little bit too much of the technology side that I didn't necessarily need for what I was doing. But there are plenty of courses out there and certifications where you can get that. But Barely Blockchain is more so a gateway to this hidden world of opportunity. So in 6 weeks, we cover everything from the basics of Web3 and blockchain to advanced topics like tokenization and regulatory compliance. So there is a huge legal component to it, but we don't stop at theory, right? So after the courses, participants engage in a Web3 legal clinic, and we pair you up with actual blockchain companies. Now, where it gets really cool. You'll be doing real work, making real connections, and gaining real experience. And that is what 90% of most lawyers can only dream of. Now, you may be thinking, well, what if I invest all of this time, I take all the courses, and I get the experience, but I still cannot find a job? I hear you. And that's why we've built a community, not just a course. Our past students have landed jobs directly from that Web3 clinic, which I explained. And some are even working on cutting-edge bite-bow projects. So when you join Barely Blockchain, you're not just getting courses or education. You're getting a network that's plugged into the 10% who are seizing this opportunity. So let me be clear, this isn't about jumping on a bandwagon. It's about recognizing the fundamental shift in how law intersects with technology and business. And for my U.S. licensed colleagues, the ABA model rules of professional conduct are now demanding this kind of competence. In the age of Web3, that competence includes understanding emerging technologies. So just imagine walking into client meetings confident in your grasp of blockchain's legal implications. Picture yourself advising on smart contracts or navigating the complexities of cryptocurrency regulations. That's the power of being in the 10% who recognize and seize this hidden opportunity. So, in the long term, we're not just changing individual careers. I mean, that's great, but that's not all we're doing. We're cultivating a new generation of legal professionals who will shape the future of law in the digital age. We'll be hosting global events, building a worldwide community dedicated to exploring and defining the legal frontiers of Web3. So ask yourself, do you want to be part of the 90% watching from the sidelines like I was, or do you want to be in the 10% leading the charge into the future of law? So if you're ready to uncover the hidden Web3 opportunity to join a community of forward-thinking legal innovators, then Barely Blockchain is your launchpad. Visit the website at bytebow.io or reach out to us. You can even send me a message on LinkedIn, or you can email us at info@bytebow.io. And remember, in the world of Web3, the legal pioneers of today will be the leaders of tomorrow. So don't just watch the future happen. Be part of the 10% shaping it. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to Barely Legal in Web3. And until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and stay ahead of the curve. Your future in the 10% starts now. Hey, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to today's episode. You know, I appreciate when you guys tune in and the time that you take to listen to the show and support us. And I have one thing that I'd love for you to do that would really help us out, which is rate the show. If you've enjoyed it, make sure you rate it. You can do it on whatever platform you're listening on. That would do wonders for us. And if you really want to be a super fan and really support the show, there's a link below that you can support us and donate a small monthly contribution, which allows us to continue to create great content for you. Thanks so much again. Appreciate you, and see you next time.